Shalom everyone. To those who are watching us on the news, I just want to say shalom to each and every one of you, and I just want to give us an update on the forthcoming Pesach holiday that is coming. I just want to give us some ideas on how to celebrate it by yourself, since we are having the coronavirus and everybody is being locked home. So I want you to be able to do it confidently at home by yourself. So that is why that is the purpose of this video. And I want you to continue also to pray for each and every one of us and for the country, that God should protect and guide us during this difficult time. And this is to tell us that the plague that actually happened in Mizraim, which is in Egypt, is possible, because most people think that the plague is a story and it is not real. So this coronavirus actually is telling us that it is possible and it is real. So, and I want you to also continue to pray for the leadership of our country and the leadership of Kehila Beta Israel, that God should continue to give us wisdom, understanding and knowledge, and to direct us on the path of justice and on the path of righteousness. So to start, I just want to give us a little overview of what Pesach is all about, and also the meaning of the word Pesach. The meaning of the word Pesach actually means to jump, to jump from slavery into freedom, to jump from the oppression to the total redemptions, of the Holy One, blessed be He, that wrote for our forefathers in those days out of this time. So Pesach has been celebrated for more than 3,000 years. The holiday began on the 15th of the Hebrew month of Nisan, which is usually in April. It is called Pesach or Passover because the angel of death passed over the Israelites' houses when he smote the firstborn sons of the Egyptians. Passover is a holiday especially for children, for it is said in the Holy Book, that is in the Torah, you shall tell your children the story of the Passover. That is to tell our children what the Lord has done for us, by saving our household, by saving our children, by saving our young ones and our old ones, by saving the entire house of Israel from the destruction of the Egyptians, and by making the Egyptians to pay for the consequences of what they have done for the people. So, preparation for the Pesach are Pesach obligations from the spiritual law. Not to eat hametz from the midday on the 14th of Nisan, as sages extended this provision and forbade the eating of hametz from the end of the 4th hour of the 14th day of Nisan onward, to destroy hametz from midday of the 14th of Nisan until the conclusion of the holiday of Pesach. Sages extended this commandment and required that all hametz be destroyed before the end of the fifth hour of Nisan, of the 14th of Nisan. Not to possess hametz from the 7th day of Pesach in the diaspora, as sages extended prohibition to include the 8th day as well. The hametz, that hametz not be seen within one's property for the 7th day of Pesach. In the diaspora, as sages extended this prohibition to include the 8th day as well. Not to partake of hametz for the 7 days of Pesach. In the diaspora, as sages extended this provision to include the 8th day as well. Not to partake of a mixture including hametz, even when the taste of hametz cannot be detected for the 7 days of Pesach. In the diaspora, as sages extended this provision to include the 8th day as well. To eat matzah on the evening of the 15th of Nisan. In the diaspora, as sages extended this commandment to include the 2nd night of Pesach as well. To tell the story of the Exodus from Egypt on the evening of the 15th of Nisan. In the diaspora, sages extended this commandment to include the second night of Pesach as well. So please, the word hametz meaning yeast, because that was what they do put into the flour, the dough, to make it to rise, and it symbolizes pride, which the Holy One, blessed be He, does not want to see. So at this point, at this time of our life, yeast must not be found in any of our domain, in our houses, in our storehouse, anywhere surrounding us. We have to purge ourselves from the ego, from the I, that is the problem of all humanity. This pride that makes us, to pump up. So, and not to subjugate ourselves to the will of the Holy One, blessed be He. So we must not find yeast in any of our surroundings. We need to understand this allegorical teaching that the Holy One, blessed be He, is teaching us individually and collectively, that ego is not of Him. From the sages of the Talmud, to search for hametz, as sages ordained that in addition to destroy all the hametz which one knows one possesses, one must search one's property to see if there exists hametz of such one in that you are not aware of. To drink 4 cups of wine, to emphasize the freedom and joy experience on Pesach, as sages ordained that 4 cups of wine must be drunk during the Seder, each one at the particular stage. To eat maror in the era of the Beit Hamikdash, the Pesach sacrifice will be eaten together with matzah and bitter herb, although the Paschal sacrifice cannot be offered until the Beit Hamikdash is rebuilt. As sages ordained that maror be eaten during Seder. So necessity that have to be prepared for the Seder, that is for the night of the festival, or the table for the festival. Unleavened bread, flour and water that have not been left unattended for more than 18 minutes. Because of the many details involved in baking matzah, it is customary to use matzah that have been prepared under strict rabbinical supervision. So that is the first one. The second one is wine. During the Seder, each of the participants are required to drink 4 cups of wine on both Seder's nights. That is on the first night, and on in diaspora also on the second night. According to many opinion, grape juice is acceptable, but most rabbis suggest mixing at least a small quantity of wine with the grape juice. And also the third one is maror, as well be explained as 2 points in the Seder. It is necessary to eat bitter herbs. The Talmud mentions 5 vegetables that are acceptable. The 2 most commonly used today are horseradish and Roman lotus. Also, we have harosset, which is a mixture of ground apple, pear, and nut, which is placed on the Seder plate, and to which red wine is added during the Seder. And we have the karpa, a vegetable placed on the Seder plate. It is customary to use raw onion or boiled tomato. We have the shakbon, which is used also as the zorah for the Seder plate, or which is the if you have the bone of a the bone of a goat or the bone of a ram, it is also acceptable for that. A hard-boiled egg to be used as the betzah on the Seder plate. It is customary to eat this egg at the beginning of the meal, so eggs should be prepared for both Seder's night. And we also on the Seder we have salt water. The karpa is dipped in salt water. If the Seder is held on Friday night, it is preferable to prepare the salt water before sunset. And just to quickly add a little bit on this, all these are what is necessary for the cedar plate, you know, for an acceptable Passover or Pascha festival. So for me to just give us a little bit of idea on the Pesach calendar, the 18 minutes before sunset on the afternoon of the 14th of Nisan, the candle ushering in the Pesach holiday are lit. And also on the 15th of Nisan, the first day of Pesach, the morning service are held, followed by Hallel, the reading of the Torah, and the Musaf service. From half an hour after noon until sunset, the afternoon service may be held. Also, the appearance of three stars on the night between the 16th and the 17th of Nisan, the evening service is recited, followed by Sefiras HaOmer, which is the canting of the Omer. Afterward, the Havdalah ceremony can be held. So these are just things that are necessary for us to have a special Pesach. And I wish each and every one of us, if you can, to be able to, you know, it's not hard for us to produce all these things. Please, if you can, and if you want, you can be able to do this by yourself at home. But the most important thing I want us to understand here is that for a Pesach, as according to what the Torah said, that only a circumcised male can eat of the Pesach. Only, I repeat myself again, only the circumcised male. If a male is not circumcised, he cannot take part in the Pesach. That is what the Torah said, and that is what God is saying. So you must be circumcised. That is a must. I repeat myself, a must. The male must be circumcised. The man must be circumcised. The boys must be circumcised for them to take part in the Pesach festival. The cedar plate is put on the table. On the plate are 6 special food that will be explained during the cedar. A platter holding 3 matzah, which is the unleavened bread, is placed on the table also. Matzah, a flat cracker-like bread made only with flour and water, symbolize the unleavened bread eaten by the Israelites in their haste to leave Egypt. There was no time for the bread to rise. The Haggadah is a book that tells the story of the Passover. It also tells what to do during the Seder. Everyone read from it during the Seder service. So please, if you don't have it, please get in contact with me on our Facebook page. That is on the private message. I can send you the Seder, which is the special. I can send you the Haggadah, which is the special book which tells us about the story of the Passover. Please don't hesitate to let me know today or tomorrow, so that I can send it before the night before the beginning of the Pesach. And I hope this little video will encourage you and will give you more strength and more energy to continue to devote your time and your resources and your mind to the work of the Holy One. May God bless you, may God sustain you, may God protect you, and may you find favor in the sight of the living God. And I wish each and every one of us happy Pesach. Pesach Sameach.